So recently I received my $20 Taobao prop in the mail. The shipping box finally has arrived and it's time to open it. Here I was actually using a knife, but I thought I glided and might have cut through the packaging, so I freaked out for a little bit, but everything was okay. And then here's the open box. It actually stinks really bad, and I don't know why. It might just be like the shipping or the factory it came out of. And sometimes with the packing material, I just roll it up and save it for future material if I'm using that to make props or costume. This part is the first piece. It's actually pretty solid and then almost the size of my whole arm. And this next piece, I think this is the front or the back of Narumi's blade. They printed a number on there. And again, it's pretty solid. I was actually pretty curious what the material is. This next part is the other side of the blade, because I think Narumi's weapon is kind of like a dual blade or like a boomerang kind of thing. It's the size of my whole arm again and pretty solid. It just stinked really bad. So now we have everything out of the box. I was just kind of individually unwrapping the packaging. Most of these are just like the tissue paper together with the shrink wrap. So I was just taking it off, all of them. Some of these did like get caught up on the edge of the tool, and they wrapped it really tight, so I had to pull it off a little bit. But it was interesting to see after I removed the packaging, you can see it's actually like 5mm acrylic boards sandwiched back to each other, and then the little details on the end, they were actually using foam, like 2mm foam. So here on the close-up, you can see this part is just all acrylic, and then this handle is wrapped with 2mm EVA foam, I think, so it's kind of squishy. Once I unwrap the second piece, it's also made out of acrylic boards. This piece has a little bit more like EVA foam, so it's actually two pieces of acrylic in the middle, and then this black part is the thin EVA. And here's a close-up. You can see the acrylic in the middle and the two EVA foam pieces. So it's kind of an interesting construction, and I can see why this is like lower cost as well. I do wonder though if I can just replicate everything with 100% EVA foam and see how that compares. Oh yeah, and halfway through I just decided to change the angle because I realized the last one maybe you can't really see too well. They really packed everything super tight, so I was actually kind of struggling a little bit with the shrink wrap. It's very interesting how they put the acrylic boards in the middle and they actually painted and spray painted the acrylic boards into the gradient with the silver, and then in the middle they added the black foam. And for this one, the top part, I think it was the inserting, like the connector to another piece, so that piece was also made with acrylic, I think for extra rigidity, which is probably a good idea because that one is used for like connecting to different parts. I'm just gonna speed up this part because it's basically the same drill. To be honest, when I first opened the package and I took the different pieces out, I was a little skeptical on the product description, claimed this to be a total of 178 centimeters. But here, as I slowly put them together, it started to look decent in the total length. So I think it's just, if each part is like 40 centimeters and then you have like 3 or 4 sections, then eventually you get there. Also, for 1 second I couldn't remember what exactly the weapon looks like, so it took me a sec to figure out which blade goes on which end. Anyways, this is how it looks like after I finish assembling. It's about 175 centimeters, I would say. But still, for like $20, I think it's worth it. It's decent if you look for the good poses and good angles. It's just the international shipping was expensive. I think if in the future I'm gonna order and try out these props again from Taobao, then I need to figure out a cheaper way to ship them. It's just with international shipping, sometimes they do volume as a weight and it gets expensive pretty quick. Overall, I think this purchase was okay and decent enough for some nice photos, but let me know what you think in the comments.